Welcome to the Florida Peanut Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode of news briefings from Executive Director Laura Fowler Goss.
Hi there, it's Laura Goss with the Florida Peanut Federation. We are finally closing in on repairs due to damages by Hurricane Idalia. That was the last of August. Here we are closing in on the middle of September. 2 buying points in North Florida were damaged. 20 River Peanut Company had pretty extensive damages. And then also Birdsong, Lee Peanut, there in Lee, Florida, they had some bucket elevators damaged and some warehouse damage. We do not anticipate a delay for harvesting peanuts. The folks at those buying points are really putting in the work to be able to receive peanuts even before this podcast is published. So we are really thankful there. A lot of the farmers sustained significant damage due to wind. Now, the rain wasn't very bad, but the wind damage in Jefferson, Madison, Hamilton, and Suwannee counties was quite extensive. The structure damage, far-reaching, just a lot of stress and anxiety over claims and resources and opportunities for outside help, versus we know that the farmers just get into the nitty-gritty. Folks in our industry just do what has to be done. The paperwork is overwhelming. The stress level is high, but we know that our group, our neighbors, our friends are very resilient, and ain't nothing going to keep us down. So the new school year is going. National Peanut Board has some resources for school nutrition professionals. In every school district that I'm familiar with, there's like a manager of the food service. And so we will be sharing these throughout Florida. It's a free digital toolkit called Peanut Power for Schools, Guide for Serving Peanuts in School Food Service. It has 5 great recipes that were scaled for school food service, peanut nutrition information, resources for handling allergies, and guidance for conducting recipe taste tests with the students. I love that. National Peanut Board also made a presentation to the School Nutrition Association in August. 300 people were registered for that, and it's also available for on-demand viewing. The webinar called Back to School, Keys to a Food Safety Start for the School Year had Sherry Coleman Collins and Shannon Gleave. Those are registered dietitians and folks there that are quite familiar with our industry as well as school service operations. They talked about food safety and all the things that are included with staff training. They dispelled myths regarding food safety and food allergies, and also discussed how technology can help keep students safe in that environment. If you're interested to learn more, pass along to someone that you are in communication with, peanutsinschools.org. There's also a podcast by National Peanut Board on the topic, and really managing those allergies comes to the forefront. Peanuts in Schools, peanutsinschools.org. We're so thankful for the work that National Peanut Board does on our behalf. I'd like to share with you an article. You can find it at farmprogress.com. The article is dated September 6, 2023, written by Denise Attaway. I saw the headline and I was instantly intrigued because it's not something that I expect is thought of very often by those who are not actually in the field. So Clemson University partnered with Michelin, like the tires, Michelin North America, to do research. Michelin believes that low-pressure tires can reduce soil compaction to help increase crop yields. So obviously with Clemson as a partner, they did this in South Carolina. The article's from Southeast Farm Press. You can find it at farmprogress.com. I'll just hit a few high points. Soil compaction is a major problem that affects plant growth and development, resulting in yield losses of up to 50% on some localized high-traffic areas of South Carolina farms, such as end rows. Michelin believes that low-pressure tires can reduce this compaction and increase the yields. Peanut specialist Dan and Co. worked with Martin Crouch of Michelin Agriculture and Steve Rosen, a field engineer, to do the research, put in the work to see if these new low-pressure tires can increase yields in cotton and potatoes. Forgive me, don't fire me. Cotton and peanuts, obviously. The overall goal of the study is to figure out whether there's an economic benefit to implementing the low-pressure tire technologies in cotton and peanut production systems. Really, really creative research project here that could have a ton of resounding benefits if Michelin finds through the research that it actually will make a difference as they expect it to do. So in 2015, a study was done at the University of Illinois with corn and soybeans and found a 4.3% yield gain when they used the Michelin Ultra Flex radial tires versus the standard radial tires. And Clemson folks are estimating that cotton and peanut revenue could benefit as much as $30 to $45 an acre. So obviously we'll do the math on the cost of those tires and installing them. I love this a lot. For more information, you can reach out mmdougl at clemson.edu. Find this article on farmprogress.com titled Clemson, Michelin Study Tire Pressure on Soil Compaction. I have an email dated September 6th from the USDA, National Institute of Food and Agriculture. The Institute of Food and Agriculture invests $459,000 to address disaster preparation, response, recovery, and mitigation in food and ag systems. So this investment of $500,000 addresses disaster preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation in food and agricultural systems. This is a grant program to support innovative, education-based approaches to address these issues. You can find information about those projects there on the USDA website, National Institute Food and Agriculture. Friends, very important announcement. USDA Farm Service Agency has a producer hotline with resources and reporting for ag producers impacted by Hurricane Idalia. The phone number, it's a hotline that will submit your initial reports so that an agent can contact you toll-free 877-508-8364. They'll want to know your primary county of operation and overall the damages and losses that were sustained as a result of Hurricane Idalia. That Farm Service Agency producer hotline is 877-508-8364. Now, there is an email address. It's complicated, but I will share that with you. Perhaps it might be a little easier to visit farmers.gov/protection like a minus sign recovery. farmers.gov/protection-recovery. The email address sm.fpac.flfsa.disaster@usda.gov. That's a great way to send the photographs that will be required. And also there is a separate number for animal health to request assistance with livestock and animals if that's something that you need urgently. That phone number is 863-993-5460. When I met with FSA a couple of days ago, all of the office phone lines were forwarded to this producer hotline for convenience. As the offices start opening back up, you should be able to reach the representatives there in your regional office. But please don't be so overwhelmed that you don't report. I know the paperwork is so frustrating. I would be more than happy to take the photographs, date and time stamp them if you already have them, to send in, compile the information, help build spreadsheets, whatever I can do for you. Would you let me know? Laura Goss, office number 386-362-2077. And my cell phone number is 386-249-9017. All right, friends, talking about the peanut harvest, let's look at September 3rd for this year. State of Florida, all included, 10% of the peanuts were dug on September 3rd, 5% were harvested. Soil moisture is very short. Peanut digging is continued ahead of historical averages, while some producers began harvesting activities. The hot conditions were noted to cause damage to the peanut crop in dry portions of the Panhandle. I gathered this information from the Peanut Farm Market News. Tyron Spearman, editor. This is edition number 123, reporting for September 3rd. So last year, we had about 21% of Florida peanuts dug compared to this year, 10%, but the 5-year average is 11%. So we're right there within the average. Now, there is a lot of concern in the north central Florida, Swanee River Valley region about when we dig these peanuts that endured the rain and the wind from Hurricane Idalia. Now, the rain was not drastic at all, like 2 or 3 inches, but the wind was pretty significant, so we're worried about those plants and interested to see, how those peanuts are gonna grade out. Got our fingers crossed, we've got our prayers sent up, and we thank you all. If you are in the heart of it there, we are with you. If you are on the outside, we thank you for your thoughts and prayers as these peanuts come out of the ground.
Thank you for listening to the Florida Peanut Podcast. In this episode, you heard Laura Fowler Goss, the Executive Director of the Florida Peanut Federation, give news updates on the peanut industry in Florida.